Everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button would you press? If we're trying to figure out the best decision for us to make individually, the red button is objectively the safest, because pressing it doesn't expose you to any risk of dying. So if we view the question as gauging our knowledge of probability and expected value, the correct decision is to press the red button. But really, the question is teasing out our intuitions about how we should treat people who make bad decisions. Phrased differently, it could have said, everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a right or wrong button. If more than 50% of people press the wrong button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the wrong button, only people who press the right button survive. Which button would you press? When phrased like this, the question becomes less about judging probabilities and more about judging the intelligence of our neighbors. One could, in a purely self-interested way that paradoxically might turn out to be altruistic, say, look, ninja, all the restarts pressing the wrong button are weighing the rest of us down. Humanity would be in a much better position to save itself from threats from nuclear proliferation, climate change, pandemic risk, AGI, etc., if we didn't have to deal with the hassle of accommodating idiots who, for the life of them, just can't arrive at the right decision. The world would be a much more beautiful, creative, and loving place if we eliminated all the stupid people. Now, on its face, this doesn't seem like all that unreasonable an argument. I don't even interact with stupid people that often, but I still feel the primal urge to kill them in light of how deleterious an effect they have on my life. I know what it's like to be in dialogue with utter restarts who really believe themselves to be morally and intellectually superior to you, and who flaunt that belief at every opportunity. It's incredibly aggravating seeing people that unintelligent never pay a price for their stupidity. What's doubly aggravating is seeing them actually get rewarded for their stupidity. So yeah, suffice it to say that I'm very sympathetic to the view that we should kill all stupid people, because I recognize what a massive cost their stupidity imposes on the rest of us. However, I can't sign on the dotted line with that proposition because none of us is responsible for our intelligence. Your intelligence, just like every other fact about you, is a product of your genes and environment. So if we were to say that all stupid people should be put to death, what we would really be saying is that all people who had the misfortune of being born into a shitty environment, having shitty genetics, or some combination of both, don't deserve to live, and that's inherently unfair. And on a practical level, even if we were to implement this policy of killing all the dummies to bring about a post-restart utopia, who gets to decide the cutoff? If the logic is that we should kill the dummies because they're dragging the rest of us down on account of their lack of intelligence, then surely the rest of us are dragging down those of us who are much more intelligent than the rest of us. If you're smart in a world of restarts, then there's a pretty good chance you'll be a restart in a world of geniuses, and that you'll be next in line for the chopping block. So really what the question is asking is, what kind of world would you rather live in? Would you like to live in a world where people who've acquired some scarce and valuable resource look to their possession of that resource as a basis for penalizing those who don't have it? Or would you prefer to live in a world where the haves help out the have-nots? Because the haves recognize that were they born as have-nots, they would have wanted the haves to help them. More prosaically, you should press the blue button because it's better to be generous in such a way that inspires greater generosity than it is to be stingy in such a way that inspires greater stinginess. We can improve our own lives and the lives of others while suppressing our desire to murder them. And pressing the red button constitutes a retreat from that pressing civilizational challenge. Like and subscribe if you fuck with the vibes. Pay me a visit and I'll keep it real. Thank you for watching me talk my shit and letting me share the way that I feel. See you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
I like it when you tell me that you love me, baby. Shit's kinda got her into it. I know you said we're just friends, but why am I such a simp for your influence? Anytime that you had a long day and you wanna blend in like some camouflage paint, I'm afraid I have to drop it all ASAP and hit you up to make sure you find your way back.